are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo, YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, wherever you're watching or listening to this, welcome to another early morning and late nights with Channel Adrian TV. And today's message is, we're all replaceable. That's at work, your relationship, your marriage, anything. And the only reason why I say that is, that's my main reason, or I would say number one reason why you can't be complacent, why, in my personal opinion, you can't take a day off until you put in the work to where you can. And honestly, that's why me personally, I never take summer vacations or 2 to 3 week vacations, especially if I didn't really accomplish a lot of my goals for the year. I really think it's unnecessary and stupid, especially when you're wasting money, which you know you could be getting yourself out of debt, you could be putting that to better use, things like that. And the reason I bring this up is because, of course, seeing what's going on in the world, people losing their jobs, people losing their benefits, it brings back home what I've always said is, that's why you're supposed to work hard. That's why you have to compete. And I know life has been pictured to us as everybody should get everything and we're all equal, which I do agree. We're all equal and everybody should be able to get everything. But we know that's a fairy tale. This isn't life. You have to fight for what you want, and then you have to fight to stay there, because there's somebody that was in your spot willing to do whatever it takes to take your spot. And that goes for anything. Goes for jobs, where you're living at, schools you get into. If you think about it, everything has a competitive barrier to entry. Everything. Now, I'm not saying you should be cutthroat about it, but what I'm saying is, I don't understand why people complain and cry about things not going well in their life, or them not getting the best out of life, but you're doing bare minimum piss poor work ethic, and you're being outworked and outcompeted, and then you get mad at the results why other people are doing better than you in life, aging better than you, have more money than you, while you sit there and cry and complain because you don't want to work hard or you want to be lazy and just relax. And just to give y'all a newsflash, it's not going to be perfect to where you're energized 100% every single day. You're going to have to go through a lot of days of when you're tired, you don't want to do anything, but you just got to muster up the energy to put forth that work. Whether that's applying for new different jobs every day, looking for a better opportunity because you feel like you're more qualified and you feel that you should get more pay. Like I said, it also deals with relationships. We all know the story. A relationship, you get married, so the relationship peaks, or someone becomes better off financially, or someone loses weight and they become more attractive, or all three. And then we see what happens, a divorce, that spouse is caught off blind, that spouse is blindsided. Now, even though it may not be morally right to some people, especially if you get caught cheating, but I get it. Like, in my personal opinion, I think it's every spouse obligation, man and woman, to stay attractive for your spouse. You could lose attraction for somebody. That's why I was saying you have to stay in shape, because we're all replaceable. Now, I know I'm not an advocate of breaking up homes and having, single parent households, but I don't blame people. Like, if you're not attracted to your husband or wife anymore because they neither work out, let themselves go, or let themselves go more worse than what you met them, what can you do? I don't blame them. I get it. Now, I don't think you should be cheating behind their back. But before I go off on a tangent, I want to circle it back to, we're all replaceable. Every single one of us, even me. I know some of you say, well, that's not true. There are some people that are irreplaceable. And some people would say celebrities, famous businessmen, stuff like that. I agree, but that's the 0.0%. For the majority of the population, for the majority of the people, or for 99.9% of people in this world, we are all replaceable. So that's why I find it hard to believe why people don't want to compete. Because at the end of the day, if you're not competing to keep your spot, you're just delaying the inevitable for someone to take it from you. I remember at a job, this was a while ago, I want to say, 5 or 6 years ago, this person and myself was up for the same promotion. Now, of course, we both got interviewed, and I got the position, which I was shocked because the person I was going against, I would say was, I don't want to say more outgoing, I would say be more willing to dive in people's personal lives. And I understand that if you dive in people's personal lives, you can build an attachment, a bond with them, regardless if it's real or fake, because that person doesn't know what you're really feeling. But since you take the time to learn more about their personal life, they will feel more connected to you. Me, I'm more all business. I don't normally talk about personal things or personal life at work. I'm very straightforward. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Stuff like that. And when they said I got the job, I was surprised. And that person was surprised as well. And they said the main reason I got it was because I work harder than that person. That I was willing to do more work, willing to compete more. And they didn't say doing more work, compete, but from how they phrased it, that's what they were aiming at. That's what they were aiming towards. And that's why some people in the workplace or in life feel you have to play the politic game and, dive into people's personal lives. I don't. I do believe if you just work hard and compete, you'll get what's deserved to you. Now, of course, you may get overlooked, but just because you get overlooked at the job you're at, it doesn't mean you start competing for other jobs and other opportunities. And that's the whole point. You compete every single day. You look every single day. Look for new jobs every single day. Look for more opportunities every single day. No different how I do on this YouTube channel. I put a new video out every single day. No different how I go to the gym. I work out every single day. It's all because we're all replaceable. And since we're all replaceable, by you not doing anything, it makes it that much easier to replace you. And that's why I've always said I believe if I work hard enough, I could work and will my way into any situation without having to be fake. Because even though being fake and doing all the politics and everything like that, it can get you ahead, but there's going to be a point where that's going to catch up to you, especially when you didn't deserve that position or deserve that. It always comes back and it always catches up on you. So men and women, if you're listening to this, remember we're all replaceable. And that's my number one reason for never taking a day off and always working hard and always competing, because I've seen people be replaced at their workplace, relationship, anything, sports, anything. And once they get replaced, they didn't even know what was happening. It was like they were blindsided. And the only way they were blindsided is because they took their eyes off the prize. They stopped working hard. They stopped being focused. They took days off. They started to become lazy. And that's why I say complacency is the biggest killer for most people. So don't become complacent, because at the end of the day, you and myself, we're all replaceable. I'll see you on the next video.